Alright, hey guys, Steven here, and today I want to kind of show you some of the bloods and types of bloods and kinds of bloods I have for that I use for FX work and FX gigs I have, makeup gigs I have year-round. I do a lot of, obviously, Halloween and haunted house stuff, but I also do theatrical productions as well, and some short films, like independent stuff as well, music videos, independent films, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm working with a huge budget film right now on developing makeup and everything, but that's not important. But today I want to show you some of the bloods I'm going to be using for Halloween makeup I'm going to be doing this year, as well as other gigs and jobs I have that I'll be having the rest of the year, I guess, and going into next year as well. So some of the bloods I'm going to show you, some of them I made, some of them I bought, some of them are cheap, some of them are ridiculously, insanely expensive. But I'm going to show you how and tell you how to get cheap, affordable, good quality blood, because I know you all hate that crappy party store, just the cheap stuff that just is terrible, because I've used it in the past, and I know how you feel. So, but today I want to show you some good stuff, good quality blood that you can afford for sure, and stuff that will last. Like, you don't want to buy cheap stuff that just kind of falls off. So yeah. And I have tons of stuff I want to show you, so I'm really excited. So this video is strictly and specifically for blood, since it's Halloween. I don't have time to do FX tutorials because that's a nightmare to edit, and I just don't have the time to do that. But I do have time to make a 20 to 30 minute video on blood, which blood is if you know me, you know how addicted I am to buying blood, because I have like 5 billion types of blood that I use. So yeah, as I'm about to show you. Alright, so I'm also going to show you, by the way, some tools to use for applying blood, because a lot of people just think you just like use your finger or like a sponge or something, and no, don't do that. So yeah. Alright, so I'm going to start with the cheapest stuff, obviously, because I know the more expensive stuff nobody can really afford, unless you're an FX artist and you have hundreds of dollars to spend. So yeah. Alright, so the first blood I want to show you is right here. So I made this. I don't even know when I made it. I want to say I made it this year. I think I remade it because the old batch from last year is bad. But this is Karo blood, corn syrup basically. I'm not going to open it because as you can see, it's like to the top, and I don't want to like to all spill out on me. So this is actually Karo syrup mixed with 99% alcohol to keep it from going bad and to keep it longer. It will go bad, but the alcohol helps the bacteria grow slower in the blood. I can't talk today. So yeah, this is Karo blood. All I did was Karo syrup. You water it down. I even added some glycerin in it to make it shiny and stay shiny. And the glycerin also keeps the Karo blood from drying completely. But the major issue with making your own blood, especially with Karo syrup, corn syrup, whatever you want to use to do it, and like if you use liquid soap or detergent, which is a lot of people use as well, you don't want to use food coloring to color your blood. You want to use food coloring to tint your blood. There's a difference between coloring your blood and tinting your blood. To color your blood, you want to buy this stuff. This is red icing color. You can buy these at the party store or your local craft store, even like Hobby Lobby. Michael's has them. They're like $2 to $5 a piece. They sell bigger ones, like the bigger bottles of them, like 4 to 8 ounce bottles for like 10-15 bucks. This stuff is super awesome. I use this to color everything. We use them in haunted houses for like staining teeth and all that kind of stuff. But it's not going to decide to come off today. I wish I what it looks like, but the cap is completely sealed. I gotta redo it. But any kind of icing coloring you want. You don't want to use food coloring to color your blood. And the reason I say that is because food coloring gives your blood a very weak red color. The only food colors you want to use to tint your blood are blue and green, and some yellow if you want it to be kind of an infected blood look. So you don't want to use red food coloring to color your blood unless it's like all you have. Use it, but if you can go out and buy the icing color, the icing gel dye, whatever it's called. Definitely go do that because it looks more realistic. It's a darker red. You use less of it than you would use with, basically, with this is Um, a few drops of this equals about half a small container of red food coloring. So it makes a huge difference amount-wise. And I'm cleaning my hands from the stained red I have on my hands now. So you don't use red food coloring to color it. Icing gel works a lot. It has a higher pigment to it. That's why it's used for icing. So you put less in it without affecting the viscosity of the icing. So it's the same thing with blood. So if you want like a thick blood, and you have like if you're using Karo corn syrup and you thin it out too much, it's very hard to thicken it back up. You can thicken it with cornstarch or chocolate cocoa powder or something like that. But if you just want to use straight Karo syrup and water like I did, because it works, without thinning it and diluting it too much, which is what food coloring would do, using the icing gel once again will work just as fine without affecting the viscosity and thickness or thinness of your blood. So that's a cool trick as well. And once again, you use food coloring to tint your blood. That's the way to go. You never use food coloring to color anything. You tint. You tint with food coloring. So Karo blood. And I have this little container. I never use this actually. I was going to use it, but the thing with Karo blood, it goes bad very quickly and it smells like rotting bodies when it goes bad. So it smells like death. I'm just going to tell you, it smells so bad when it goes bad. And honestly, I've used Karo syrup that's I've had for like a year, and it's don't eat it. So you'll end up in the emergency room. So yeah. Okay, moving on. So the next kind of blood, I will show you. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to show you how to make it because I actually ran out of the stuff to make it with. But I made a gel blood with. I'm going to try to show you the. You can see how it's kind of like jelly. I made this. Now, how I made this is actually super cheap. If you want to learn if you want to do it yourself, you can make this kind of stuff for super cheap. But the quality is not as good as what the next thing I'm about to show you, or one of the next things. This is actually a powder substance called Methocel. And Methocel is a plant wall-based powder. It's really not toxic. They put it in like toothpaste and stuff, and some other things as well. But Methocel powder, it's really, really light and fluffy. It's white. You mix it with warm water or hot water. Depending on how the hotter the water, the longer working time you have with it till it sets, basically. Same thing. You take the the icing gel and food coloring. You color and tint it, and it sets within minutes once cooling. So that's how you do that. If you want to do Methocel, you can buy it online for super cheap. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, you can buy probably a 5 to 10 pound bag for like 20, 30 bucks. So definitely worth it if you love scab blood and gel and like slime and stuff. Believe it or not, they actually use Methocel that I made this stuff with for I think the Ghostbusters and Terminators movie for all the slime and goo and stuff. So yeah, it's a really cool product. But it melts in heat, so you can't really use it if you're like working in heat or whatever. And it does not last. This will go bad within a few months, so it does not last. So that's a downer as well. So the next one I want to show you is a scab gel paste. Not a paste, scab gel. And this is a drying gel. And we actually use this at the haunted house I work at currently. This is from a company called Ben Nye, which is probably you've heard of it if you are an FX artist or beauty makeup artist or whatever. Ben Nye is one of those better brands for theatrical makeup, next to Mayron and Kryolan. If you want to go with the best theatrical makeup brand, Kryolan is the way to go. That's what I buy. But Kryolan, I don't like their blood. Ben Nye's blood is actually pretty good. Kryolan makeups are amazing and super high quality for the same price as Ben Nye and Mayron, and you get a higher pigment, and it's just worth it. And it's super cheap, so anybody can get that. So for Halloween makeup, go to Kryolan and get their stuff. Well, it's probably too late now, but next year, go to Kryolan, buy Kryolan stuff. It's worth it. But Ben Nye Fresh Scab Gel. And I don't know if it's backwards for you guys or not. I'm using my on-camera webcam because my camera does not work right now currently. So yeah. Anyway, this stuff is amazing. I've bought so many of these. I use so much of it. It's ridiculous. Let's not do that. So This stuff is amazing. Now, it looks like this, as you can see. It's super shiny. It's super realistic as well. This stuff is incredible. It's in a glass jar. Now, like I said, this is drying, so if you leave the lid open, it'll dry. The top layer will dry, and you got to stir it, and it gets super thick, and it just gets a mess. But once you apply this to a cut or something, it's fantastic. It looks awesome. It actually dries like a real scab, so when it sets and dries, you get a super realistic effect. Like I said, everybody loves using this stuff. We love it so much at the haunted house, and I love it. I buy it all the time. It's great. So, Bin Nye Fresh Scab Gel. And this is only 20 bucks, and this will last you a long time. So, and you don't use a lot of this. It's so heavily pigmented, you can actually, it's super spreadable too. That's why I love it. You can spread this through cuts and scabs and stuff, and so like it's great for spreading blood everywhere if you want to like smush it on the face or use it like as an infected look around like a wound or something. This spreads really well, especially with the stipple sponge, which a lot of people do. So yeah, and I usually apply this with a spatula, which I'll show you what I have in a little bit. Alright, so the next one I'm going to show you is... It's expensive but not expensive because they only sell it in, I think, 3 different sizes. And I have the gallon. Now, I bought this from somebody last year for 25 bucks, but the normal gallon of this is about $60 to $70. Which is actually average price for all fake blood. If you get fake blood by the gallon, it will range you from $50 to $80 a gallon. So like that's like the party store stuff too. So, but if you want to buy it in bulk, this is it. CFX Stage Blood, and this is the dark Stage Blood. This is the thick dark, which is I love. I only really use dark blood. Honestly, I don't really use the fresh color because it doesn't look good on film or people at all. I don't like the way it looks. But anyway. CFX Stage Blood. Now they do sell it in smaller sizes. They sell them in these sizes, I think, in a size bigger, and they're not expensive. They're about the same price as Bin Nye stuff, the Bin Nye Stage Blood and the Mehron Stage Blood. Let's not do that. So it's not expensive. So if you go to CFX website, they're located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They have their blood is just amazing. I used this in my haunted house last year on props actually. And it dries and it stays shiny and fresh and it looks just fantastic and it's awesome. So I use this on props, believe it or not, as well as I use the rest half of it on like actors, like blood and stuff. So great stuff to do. Water it down, put it in a spray bottle. You can spray people down and it stays on their skin. It doesn't drip off. It doesn't fade. It stays on. This is equivalent to the Bin Nye Stage Blood as well. So so yeah, they're pretty much the same. This one I like better. CFX has a better quality blood in my opinion, but they're pretty much the same. This one just is a little bit more shiny when it dries, and I have it in a little bitty squirt bottle here for doing small detail work on cuts and stuff. So yeah. All right, and like I said, if you want to get the gallon, it's about 70-80 bucks with shipping, so it's not too bad if you're going to use a lot of it. Other Stage Blood is even more expensive for like better quality, which I'm about to show you. So yeah. All right, next. I have 2 more things left to show you. Okay, so the next 2 things are from the same company, Skin Illustrator, not Skin Illustrator, oh my gosh, Premier Products, which makes Skin Illustrator alcohol palettes, which is what I have here, and they make, oh my god, Skin Illustrator liquid bottles, the Bloodworks line, the Fleet Street stuff, and they make the Telesis products as well, if you even know what any of that is. All special effects stuff. So Premier Products is specifically special effects pretty much. So this one is the Fleet Street line by them. Fleet Street, 2 words. And this is their Bloodworks line, sorry. This is a drying paste, and I bought this last year and it's incredibly awesome. Same thing, kind of the same thing as the Bin Nye Scab Blood, but this is it. I got the smaller one. This is the drying paste. This is the dark one. This is actually the blood color one. It's a little bit dark, but it's also a little bit light. It's like in the middle between light and dark, so I like it. But this actually is film quality, and it does the same thing as the Bin Nye blood gel, but this actually dries faster and it dries and it stays on. It actually creates a real scab, so when you peel it off it kind of hurts, but it stays on the skin. It does not come off. and it's super thick, and I'm going to try to squeeze some out for you guys, and a little bit of this goes a long way. You can see how thick it is. So I've used this a lot actually, and I've only made it to like down here, so it's going to last me a while, and it's really great for smearing as well on the face for like stuff. So great thing. Bloodworks, Fleet Street Bloodworks drying paste. They have 3 different kinds. They have Lymphic, which is like the orange stuff that comes out of like your eyes and ears and stuff, and it's gross. They have the fresh blood colored, and then the scab color, and they have the blood color. So the blood color is the best one in my opinion, the way it looks for me. Okay, last blood I want to show you. If my computer's still going to sleep. Same brand, Fleet Street Bloodworks. This is Fleet Street Blood. This is the expensive stuff, and nobody, if you're not an FX artist or makeup artist, you can't afford this. I'm just going to tell you right now. I just bought this last week. I've worked with it in the past. It is the highest quality blood you can pretty much get on the market. It's also the most expensive at $560 a gallon. Yeah, I said $560 a gallon. $600 with like tax and shipping. It's insane, but you can't buy it in the gallon. If you bought it in the gallon, that's how much it would cost. But the biggest bottle they make is actually this. This is 16 ounces. This was $70. And this is film quality blood, by the way. This is not theatrical blood. This is not any of that kind of stuff. This is like the high quality stuff. And here, I'll show you guys the label. Fleet Street Bloodworks. This is the drying blood as well. Same thing as the scab blood, basically. This dries really well, and it stays on the skin. It does not come off. But this is a dark, and they have a fresh. That's pretty much it. So they do have 2 other smaller, actually 3 other smaller sizes, or two other smaller sizes. They have a 8 ounce and a 4 ounce, and I believe a 2 ounce actually too. So 3 other sizes. And the 2 ounces actually are only like $20 per bottle, and they're this size. So if you want to go ahead and get some for $20, you can get it. It'll last you a while. But Fleet Street, the drying blood is just, this stuff is awesome. And it also, nobody like believes me until they smell it, but it smells like chocolate vodka. And like I tell that to everybody, and it smells amazing. If you put this on your face, you will want to eat your face because it smells so good. So yeah. So if you can afford it, get Fleet Street. Definitely worth the money if you can get it. Actually, there's a haunted house here that I used to work at last year here in New Orleans. This is actually right here. It's called the Mortuary. We actually used this for all of our blood there, and it was incredible. It was awesome. So, like I said, if you can afford it, get it because it's the highest quality blood you can pretty much get. So yeah, and I put it in a little bitty scrub bottle, and I label all my bottles because you can't see that. It says Fleet Street on it. But I have Fleet Street in here, and then my CFX in here, just because when you're doing small detail work on the face, it's good to have these little bitty bottles to kind of like fill in like gashes and stuff, so you don't have to use your tools to scoop it out and like worry about it dripping and stuff. You can control a lot easier with these scrub bottles that are like a buck a piece. So yeah, it's good to have individual dispensers for your blood, latex, all your liquids that you use for any of your makeup. It's good if they're in bigger bottles like this or in a gallon jug. It's good to individualize them into containers. So that's another cool thing. Or you can do what I do and get these little bitty cups. These are CC cups. They're in my car. And I usually, like, if I'm working in a haunted house or doing, like, something that's requiring a lot of blood, then I'm just going to be splattering it and, like, you know, putting it all over the face and dabbing it. I'll fill up a CC cup about 3/4 of the way to halfway and just keep it out and let it get super thick. Because when you're dealing with drying bloods like this, if you just take, like, a spoon or a suction cup, forgot what they're called, or like a spatula or something, or a tongue depressor, and just kind of smear it on, it's going to drip, and you're going to have to do it right at the bottle. But if you let your blood sit out, and you let the air hit it, and you stir it every like 2 to 3 minutes, it's actually going to get super thick. You can also, I've even done, is use a hair dryer to heat it up, just like away from a little bit to get the air flowing, and the heat will create a crust You just keep stirring to thicken it. That way when you apply it to the skin, it won't drip as much or won't drip at all, and it'll stay on the skin. So that's the other great trick. Sorry, to do as well. Now, I told all the makeup artists I work with and who ask for opinions and stuff, you know, that everybody's like, oh, it drips everywhere. The blood always drips my sweat, and you know, it just goes everywhere, and it doesn't stay on. So you have to seal your blood pretty much. If you want it to last, you gotta seal it. Even if it dries, it's gonna come off if you sweat a lot or you get hot and you start moving a lot. So the best way to seal it is with a spray sealer, which you can get online from Bendnai, Kryolan. Those are the two brands I like the most. Their sealers are incredible, but the best one to get is Telesis Blue Marble. But that's super expensive, so you know it's just as expensive as the blood. So if you can afford to get it, but if not, what I use now is Bendnai Final Seal. And the light in here is terrible because I have my big old light in here, but it's called Bendnai Final Seal. This is the big 8-ounce bottle. They have smaller ones like a 2-ounce, and then the big like 32-ounce or 16-ounce, I believe. The 16-ounce. And I just put a little spray cap on it, so I just spray it on the blow or whatever, and it seals it and it locks it into place. The way I do this is I have my hair dryer in my hand ready to go. I turn it on, aim it away from my model's face. I spray a few sprays of this. Then I hit it with the hairdryer really quickly to dry the sealer really fast. And what the sealer does, it creates a really thin film around the whole face and everything you just did. And that film acts as a barrier, and it's going to hold all that makeup and all that blood and stuff on the face for a long time. And it's going to keep the people from sweating it off. It's from too fast, and it kind of dissipating away. So any kind of sealer will work. So Bendnai and Kryolan are the cheapest. This is about 20 bucks, I believe. $23 for this 8-ounce. So it's not too bad. So yes. And the last thing I want to show you are some of my tools that I use for kind of like working with blood. I usually only use spatulas, FX spatulas. And these are not clean from the other night. Yeah, they are. No, they're not. And I have 3 different kinds of spatulas I use, small, medium, and large for different reasons. I use these for mixing silicone, for mixing any kind of compounds for applications, but I also use them for blood as well. The one I use the most for blood is my little bitty 2-sided spatula, and these are really cheap. These are like $8 to $10 a piece, so they're not too expensive. This is like 6 or 8, this one's 6 or 8, and this one's about 10. This is my big boy I use for mixing silicone and applying prosthetics. This is great to use. The medium one I use a lot for silicone, like 3rd degree, or I actually use this for skin tight because skin tight is really liquidy. So I stir it a lot. These small ones are great for applying really quickly. So yeah. So and then I have my small one. So spatulas are important for me using it. I use this one, the small one, a lot for the Bendnai Scab Blood, and it works so well with applying like in cuts and stuff. Now the reason I use spatulas is because the edges are so thin that filling in cuts and stuff, usually all I do is I turn it sideways like that. So I turn it sideways and I just kind of dab it in like that, straight like this, and it just puts the blood on the edge. So to fill in cuts, I just kind of go like that, and then I just kind of work it in just like that on the side into the skin, and you can actually create cuts just by doing that with the blood. So they're just super thin edges. That's the point I'm getting to. So yeah. All right, so that's pretty much it. I wanted to show you guys at the 23-ish minute mark. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this video on the different kinds of blood that I use personally, that I love, and I've studied and used every kind of blood, and these are by far my favorites. Obviously, if you can't afford the good stuff, get the better, cheaper stuff. Bendnai, just stick to Bendnai. Go check out CFX, local company here in Louisiana, and some other like Mayron blood is good too. Bendnai is better though. Or go check out Kryolan as well. Kryolan is one of my favorite brands for makeup, theatrical makeup. Like I said earlier, go check them out. Go look at all their stuff. Definitely worth the time and money. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, list them down below in the comments. Yeah, I'm gonna be making some more videos soon, hopefully, for you guys. Possibly some FX stuff after Halloween because I have no time to do them now. So I might be doing them afterwards and see how that goes. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more really cool and interesting videos that are going to be coming soon.